Students, let's learn about participles and how we can combine sentences with participles. A participle is a word which is partly verb and partly adjective. That is why it is called verbal adjective. Students, let's go through the given sentences. 1. Yesterday I read an interesting novel. 2. The injured persons were taken to the hospital. 3. Seeing the danger, the child started crying. 4th, she selected the box filled with sweets. 5th, disappointed with his life, he went to the church. Students, in the above sentences, the words interesting, injured, seeing, filled, and disappointed are formed from the verbs interested, injure, see, fill, and disappoint. They qualify nouns and pronouns. Which are the nouns and pronouns they qualify? Novel, person, child, box, and he, like adjectives. Such describing words have the nature of both verbs and adjectives and are called verbal adjectives or participles. Kinds of participles. Students, there are 3 kinds of participles. 1. Present participle. 2. Past participle. 3. Perfect participle. Students, let's understand more about participles. Present participles are formed by adding ing to the verb. For example, seeing, reading, writing, flying, laughing, crying. Present participles denote an incomplete action or state. I repeat, present participle denote an incomplete action or state. For example, I heard the child crying. The boys entered the room laughing. Let's learn something about past participle. Past participles are formed by adding d, ed, t, en, ne, n to the verb. For example, a burnt child dreads fire. We saw the trees laden with apples. The police found the place abandoned. Students, past participles denote an action or state which is completed. I repeat, past participles denote an action or state which is completed. Students, now let's learn more about perfect participles. Perfect participles are formed by adding having or having been before the past participle form of the verb. For example, having finished my lesson, I went to bed. Having been selected, he rejoiced at the news. Perfect participles denote an action which was completed at some time in the past. I repeat, perfect participles denote an action which was completed at some time in the past. Students, let's learn more about present participle, past participle, perfect participle with examples. Present participle. Present participles denote an incomplete action or state. Example 1. The twinkling stars were clearly visible. 2. Sparkling diamonds look marvelous. 3. I heard the child crying. 4th, the boys entered the room laughingly. In the above sentences, the words twinkling, sparkling, crying, laughing act as verbs as they are formed from the verbs twinkle, sparkle, laugh, cry, and also as adjective because they are describing the words stars, diamond, child, boys. The ing form of such verbs are called present participle. Past participle. Past participles denote an action or state which is completed. Students, let's read the given examples. 1. The skilled craftsmen were present at the exhibition venue. 2. The doctor was looking after the wounded boy. 3. A burnt child dreads fire. 4th, we saw the trees laden with apples. Students, in the above sentences, the verbs skilled, wounded, burnt, laden are past participles. They are verbal adjectives because they act as verb and adjectives both. They also describe the craftsman, boy, child, and trees. Past participles end in ed, en, d, t, or n according to the words. Perfect participles. Perfect participles denote an action which was completed at some time in the past. Students, apart from the two kinds of participles described earlier, sometimes we also use a perfect participle. Students, let's go to the examples. 1. Having won the match, the team went on a holiday. 2. Having finished my lesson, I went to bed. 3. Having been selected, he rejoiced at the news. 4th, having delivered the message, she left immediately. Students, these sentences actually mean that After winning the match, the team left immediately. 2. After finishing her lesson, she went to bed. Third, after the selection, he rejoiced at the news. Fourth, after delivering the message, she left immediately. Students, in this exercise, we will use infinitives, gerunds, and participles. Fill in the blanks with verbs given in the brackets as per the instructions. 1. Dash cartoons is enjoyed by all the children of the class. Use gerund of watch, that is watching. Watching cartoons is enjoyed by all the children of the class. Second one, past participle of the verb wound, that is wounded. The wounded soldiers were carried away from the battlefield. Third example, present participle of the verb gurgle, that is gurgling. The gurgling stream had crystal clear water. Fourth example, infinitive of the verb live, that is to live. They decided to leave before it was too late. Fifth, infinitive of the verb go, that is to go. Mansi planned to go for a picnic with her friends. Sixth example, infinitive of the verb go. Here we are supposed to use bare infinitive because after modal verbs we use a bare infinitive. Could is a modal verb. They could go for Chinese food to a nearby restaurant. Seventh example, infinitive of the verb study. The children do not want to study during the holidays. Students, in this exercise, let's learn to combine sentences using participles. Participle is a word which is partly verb and partly adjective. That is why it is called verbal adjective. Combine the following pairs of sentences by using participles. 1. She was in Delhi. She worked as a teacher. She was working as a teacher in Delhi. 2. Neha was in the party. She was having her dinner. Neha was having dinner at the party. Third one, Minal is from Gujarat. She doesn't understand Bengali. Being from Gujarat, Minal doesn't understand Bengali. Fourth one, Vani saw a bull. She began to run. Seeing a bull, she began to run. Fifth example, Paul was feeling tired. He fell asleep on the park bench. Feeling tired, Paul fell asleep on the park bench. Sixth one, the boy saw a snake. He shouted for help. Seeing a snake, he shouted for help.